Right guys, we are here at SMMT and I am now out in another Hyundai N car. This is the i30N. Now when I first had my Mark III Focus RS, the i30N came along and it was a bit of a competitor, albeit a front wheel drive version, but similar kind of thing. High powered hot hatch, a little less horsepower, but pops and crackles, various drive modes. And this particular one is a facelifted one. It's the latest i30N. You've got some nice bigger exhaust tips. And I must admit, the car does sound good as well. If you want to see full specs on this car, please look it up because I've just jumped in it. It's a quick review, just a first impression review. I've not even had time to look at anything in relation to the car, but it's going to be about how it feels, what it's like, and that's pretty much it. So I've stuck it in its most racy mode, N mode. And we're going to head out on the twisty hill route and see what it's all about. This is my kind of hot hatch. The size, you know, I drove the i20N, which is a little bit small for me now. I prefer these bigger, a bit more grown up hot hatches. And there's been quite a lot of hype around this car over the last couple of years, so now it's time to see what it's all about. I've got a manual box as well, a nice 6-speed manual. The inside of the car is a step up from the i20 in terms of quality. You've got more soft touch plastics inside. It's still a little bit kind of cheapish, particularly in the centre console around this area, but you know, a car of this type, it's expected really. Infotainment seems quite nice and clear. You've got old school dials, which I like, nothing too fancy. We've got auto rev matching as well in N mode. So we're going to head out now. We shall start putting this thing through its paces. It does feel quite firm. It's quite bumpy in the N mode that we're in at the moment. Yeah, we've got the pops from the exhaust, Mark III Focus RS style. Right, let's see what other drive modes we've got. We've got normal. Yeah, normal just feels a bit more sedate. I think it's got to be M mode, isn't it? It's got to be M mode for this. This guy likes getting his yellow flag out, I don't know why. Right, so here we go. So I'm in third gear now. Just going to see what the low down pull's like in this thing, just up this hill. So plant the foot. Yeah. Again, like other cars I've driven today, just takes a little bit of time just to hit the torque band, and then when it hits that, it's just a nice continuous pull. We'll do second gear here. Some nice pops, right? This is my little hairpin here. We can get the nose tucked in. Oh, it took off a bit there. Does feel nice. It feels much better than the i20, I must admit. Much more responsive. Yeah, this is my kind of car actually. Yeah, I can't really push it all the way to the top of the revs because of the nature of this circuit and the speed limits we've got to adhere to. Yeah, I tell you what, it's not phased by coming out of bends under load. It's not phased at all. I like it. It feels quite nice and neutral. The setup of the steering particularly is, to be fair, it suits me down to the ground. It's not too fast and it's not too slow. It's a perfect balance. Gearbox feels really nice as well, nice and slick. Alright, so let's see what it's like down here. Yeah, nice bit of grunt up the hill there. Not really phased. The brakes are similar as well. I mentioned earlier, I think it was in the Megane. where there's not much of an initial bite, but then you get what you put in. This is kind of nicely in the middle. It feels like a nice developed car, which is perfect in these conditions. These twisty crests, cambered corners. I like this car, guys. First impressions of this car, I really like it. And I tend to, the longer I spend with cars like this, the better they get for me as well. So I think if I had a proper week-long road test with this car, I think I'd actually start to really enjoy it. Is it the best hot hatch of the day so far for me? I'm not sure. The Golf GTI Club Sport, I did really like that. I did really like it, and it had a bit more of an upmarket feel. It had the auto as well. For in terms of daily drivability, I think the Golf GTI does tip the scales for me a little bit there. But this, as a dedicated fun car to chuck around a back road, I think this is going to be the winner in terms of that aspect. So yeah guys, that was a quick whistle stop review of the Hyundai i30N, and I like it.